Hi guys, it's Michele. Today we're gonna have a look at two machines that are gonna be modified, removed, or actually really much rebalanced for the next patch. So in this patch, the old one, once once the 2.0 balance comes out in 9.0.19 patch, it will be the old one. So the old one says that we had an MX10P which will be removed and maybe returned back in the game in the later stage, but totally rebalanced and remodified. And the second thing is the Type 59, which will remain in our garage as a premium tank, and it will be much more changed in the soft stats, while this regular Type 59 will go into recycle bin and be turned into a couple of new tanks that will fill up the gap in Zhangfei dealer tech tree as tier 1 and tier 2, plus the other tiers in the garage. Actually, the 4 will become a 3. Actually, all of them will drop for one place, so we have a lot of to look forward on my channel. And plus WZ1224 will switch its place to tier 5 to tier 6, because let's be honest with you, that thing frontally is a monster, not just in the turret but in hull itself. So maybe that's a change that will actually will be good for most of you, because that thing is OP at tier 5. Let's be honest. I play that thing, it's just a monster. The only problem that I found with that thing was the problem that I found with every Chinese and Russian tank. It's a lack of gun depression and nothing else. Now, let's play for today a couple of tanks that will be removed. Actually, as you know, the Scorpion will be here with the new Scorpion and so on, so on. The Scimitar will be coming and so on. But let's see how this thing was in this patch. And for the quickest part I can show you, it's a PvE, because unfortunately you don't have much of PvP players at the moment. So we're gonna wait for 15 minutes in PvP, and in this situation we can wait for 1 minute, and I really don't have 15 minutes to just show you a random game. With this, it's much more easier. So the only thing that I should be looking forward for is a bit of buff for this machine, because it needs a bit of HP to be competitive with the other premium tanks that are in the game at the moment. So let's see. We are at the moment on the Operation Starry Night. It's a PvE operation where we have to do a couple of things. So, when you are in a machine like mine, MX10P, I told you before if you watched my 111, actually 113 gameplay, the light tanks and the FVs are your guys that are backing you up, and the main role is to look forward to cap, do the secondaries, and try to stay alive while avoiding fire. Of course, other than that, you should be able to spot for your enemies because of your view range, which is this orange stuff. And of course, calculating that the pluses and minuses of the equipment, crew skills, commander, and so on, and the obstacles between you and your target that comes when deciding where you're gonna spot them, on which field you're gonna spot them. So AFVs are fire scouts. They're actually equivalent of your light tanks, even low tanks, and they rely on their stealth, not their firepower. So having a chain gun and a machine gun, well guys, if you are running with them, use them basically to only surprise the enemy from behind. Surprise him from behind. It could be interpreted two ways, you know. But anyway, use them as a price factor, so you can destroy them before they even realize what's happening to them. Now we have a main battle tank Type 59. Hopefully will hold it down for us while we manage to find the enemies and actually find the secondaries. Once we eliminate the secondaries at the very start, it's much more easier for us to focus on the enemies themselves. Now the secondaries are out. Now my second objective is to destroy the enemy RT and all the soft targets. Now the BMP-1 just beat me to it. And the third part you need to do is actually go into urban combat and surprise the enemy, not park in front of it and exchange fire. You will never go fine with that, especially in next patch when your autocannon will be nerfed, so you won't be able to do much damage frontally. but we have to flank the enemy, destroy the tracks, and go around them. So take a mix of AP and HE rounds for your enemies, so you can combine those things when you're fighting at them. Now, over here no one is here to be seen. Let's move a bit forward and try to deal some damage. Now, the more damage that you can do is actually by just assisting your allies, by marking them on your queue, on your special abilities. A lot of people are forgetting that they have this ability, and it's pretty much useful when you want to make sure that no one sees that your enemy doesn't actually run away, and it remains targeted and receives a bit more of the damage than it should have received otherwise. So combination of this marking like this, okay, let's just take a stationary target, marking like this, now pop out the smoke screen. You will be invisible from this enemy, but he will stay visible to you. That's a very good system that you can use to your advantage in PvE and very much in PvP. It saved me a couple of times my skin, actually it saved my skin a couple of times when I was using it like that. So let's move a bit over here, and now let's use our terrain to spot for the enemies. I think they're gonna appear on my right side and on my left side as well. So let's try to fire a bit over here and switch the target to this one. Ooh, luckily for us, our allies are giving us backup, so we don't have to worry about that thing shooting at me. Now here's the enemy bulldog that's running away from the bridge, trying to go blindly into the cap zone. Of course, remember guys, one thing is actually firing at the enemy live targets, and the other thing is these kind of bots. So stupid targets and smart targets are two things that you should be considering about, you should actually consider when you are fighting at the enemy, and those are the things that you need to take care about when you are in the game, because the Muppet of the enemy AI won't be reacting as a Muppet in live game. Same could be said for your allies though. Leopard 1, let's switch to the HE ammo. Even the thing is actually very fragile. Keep in mind that you can get used to switch to your HE ammo when you want to deal internal damage to the lightly armored vehicles, or to track the enemy main battle tanks, or just piss them off by shooting at the Commander Cupola. And Commander Cupola next patch will be a lot more easier to hit, and you can deal a lot more damage than you can do now. So keep that in mind when you are starting new game in the new patch 0.19. And the moment you can see that we managed to destroy the OF of 40, but only we managed to destroy his tracks, because as I told you before, keep in mind frontal damage and frontal targets with the AP and HE ammo on your autocannon will be even less easier than now. So when you want to take out someone, be tactical with this thing and don't trade damage. You'll just end up being chewed up in the process. Your job is not to trade damage, your job is to be sneaky. As a rogue in World of Warcraft or in any other MMO game, you need to be stealthy as possible and just backstab the enemy. Same you can say with your lightly armored vehicles like light tanks and your TDs. Basically those are the classes that are the damage dealers, and they need to avoid trading damage at all costs, because it won't go well for them. The only thing that can take up the damage are the heavy tanks, but I'm gonna show you what you need to know about the heavy tanks in my Type 59 that's just after this game. So it's a victory, and with the way that victory, it's easy for us to farm credits, even medium difficulty. Of course, you need I think 2 or 3 games to be equal in a victory with medium difficulty than in the victory with PvP, but given the current state of Armored Warfare, it's actually pisses it for you to just farm on the PvE and not the PvP. As you can see, we managed to do a lot well. better actually than last time when I was recording on Montenegrin language. And this time, instead of being third, we are being first in the score list, which is not bad at all. So let's go for the next one, and next one is Type 59. Shall we go for the premium? No, the premium I'll show you once they luckily let us skip it. And this thing will be actually recycled into 2 tanks. So let's go into PvE. And let me show you how the game is played this thing. So, what you need to know about this thing. First, bottom here is very prone to ammo racking. That's why I placed reinforced ammo rack. Second thing is, this thing gets light up on fire, unlike Russian tanks that you need to go all the way around them, all the way here, to have a chance to set them on fire. With the Chinese you can go forward basically and penetrate this lower plate, even high tiers, and have a good chance of setting the engine on fire and the whole transmission system. Because somehow they traded that thing as a weakness, but got much more penetration tier for tier. Their AP ammo is only is second to none basically, and it can penetrate through everything. But they give some protection for that. So every tank and every nation has their trade-off. But the general system is the same for most of them. Turret and high hull armor. So if you are peek out to the turret armor over here, and this is the profile that you want to show to the enemy, as you can try to hide your weak turret hatches. Of course, if you're in a PvP with lightly armored vehicles, plus on the next patch, the cupola, this mini cupola over here, will actually take full damage. So if someone is firing ATGM or hit at you, be aware that you can receive a lot more pain than you usually would at this moment. So, a lot of changes right coming into the new patch, and I'll be honest with you, I cannot wait because they're finally going to do a proper broadcasting and a proper marketing for the game. So that means we're gonna have a lot more players and a lot less queue time, and I'm not gonna be forced to wait till 10 PM to play a PvP game. And I can always press battle, not going into PvE mode, and start grinding my tanks against enemy players. And maybe in the process getting some good footage for my channel. Or a good game that I can show you and use you for a tutorial. And how to do what to do when, and so on and so on. So this is superior M41 Bulldog against lightly armored targets. If you are a heavy tank, I said it before and I say again, use heat ammo, because heat ammo has the most efficiency on the enemy lightly armored targets, unless they have a component like active reaction system, which is good for the deflecting all the heat ammo. So heat ammo, as you can see, is not very much useful at the moment to have the side skirts of the enemies, but the AP ammo can do my job. Actually can do the job for me by tracking the enemy. I'm at the moment in very bad position. Don't go like this against enemy player, because they'll just fill you full of holes, like this leopard is doing just to me. So when I done you a service by showing you where and how not to, I should back up and save my ass before I get shot in the process by the bloody pigeons, or I should call them bots. So let's go and continue shooting at clay pigeons. Now cool down, enemy side on, he doesn't give a F about me being on his side armor. Nice one. My ally is a bit decreasing my frame rate over here by shooting these things, but luckily for me it wasn't so serious. Now heat ammo against enemy Sheridan is always welcome, and this thing will be a new tier 10 in the Earl tanks, so you can also see it over there in the next couple of patches. Why? Swingfire, why? I was just about to kill him. Dude. Okay, secondaries. Where are my light tanks? So they can take care of take care of that. My gun is bad, sorry. Okay, next one. Let's see. Let's see where we can aim this gun at. Shall I take this rock? Yes, of course. And if the situation arises in the PvP, always use something like this. Side script with a minimum amount of your exposure. hide your lower plate behind a rock or an obstacle that's not penetrated. Well, great. Phone when I am just about to do the audio recording. Turn off the phone, turn off the vibration stuff so I can continue on. Now, T-64 in front of me, Bellpanzer in front of me, all these things are getting ready to fire at me, but before I let them rip into my lower glacis, let me just at least turn on my heat. T-64, oh, that's gonna be problematic. So, one shot of the heat ammo into the Bellpanzer, next shot is the AP that will go through and luckily penetrate this T-64 that's right here. Nope. Yeah, great. Pak 90, one of the very nasty tank destroyers. Let's shoot him a bit. Now let's see where he's gonna move. Over here. The dispersion of the main battle tanks is one thing that you can always rely on. And that means your main battle tanks will not be as sniper as they should be, even if you aim poorly. Those like myself who got used to that thing in World of Tanks will actually be much more familiar with the deviation of the cannons and how it tends to send your shells flying to Narnia if you even try to aim at the enemy weak spot. So, enemy T-64 rushing his gun, basically hit right in front of me and leaves him very much exposed with his lower plate to my gun. So this means that even in the next patch, you should be able to deal with the enemy even if you're bottom tier, just by shooting their weak spots. So weak spot aiming will be the priority for you in this game in future, if it wasn't up to now. So brute force is not recommended, smart play is recommended always. Let's cap a bit, it's 4 minutes till the end. Let's provoke the enemy to send us their troops to our guns to feed us with damage. Of course, LIV 300 is has one of the better games for today and 13 kills. So, no effect tier net component, you can also expect to skip that if you are rushing the shots or, in my case, firing at the enemy at full speed. Of course, ramming the enemy will sometimes then make you break your tracks, which will actually leave you stranded for a bit. So, 5800 damage, tier 3, not bad, even if I do say so myself, in the medium difficulty. I'm not even breaking a sweat, to be honest with you, it's just like shooting clay pigeons. Though this guy with 14 kills stole most of our kills, but you know how it goes. Luckily over here, actually unluckily, you don't get rewarded for your damage, you get rewarded for kill stealing. That's a big problem with this game. So someone saw me over here, and there it is. The enemy Type 59, which is actually upgraded. But ooh, this was a hell of a bad shot from me. And it took rectify that by using my AP ammo and damaging this guy. So 40 seconds still capping. Please let me just kill this, please. Please dude, don't cap. 34, 33 seconds. Okay, I'm now side scraping, doing my best way to angle my ammo. As you can see, I'm bouncing some shots. The enemy doesn't do that, so they receive some shots. And now it's a good thing to face hug and place one into the enemy. Now turn my frontal part of the armor to this Bellpanzer so he cannot penetrate me. Place one shot into him, charge him, try to finish him off before the last seconds are out and manage to destroy him. Fortunately, one of our guys was the RT that got destroyed, and the RT will be massively rebalanced in the next patch. A bit more about that in my next videos. So for today, Type 59, as you saw it, you can use it like this, and you will continue to use it like this in the next patch, because it won't be different so much from this kind of gameplay as we are showing it at the moment. But only it will become a premium tank if they let us keep it. Hopefully they let us keep it, because it's a nice low tier earner. As you can see, the regular tanks this time earned me some cash and placed me the damage on top, alongside the experience on top, because of the assistance damage that I done and some spotting that I done as well. So these two machines on tier 3. Next video we'll be showing a bit of tier 4 and stuff. So till then, happy hunting and I'll see you next time.